it's Laura, and I am returning with an update on my inventory reconciliation process. I made a video maybe like 2-ish weeks ago talking about doing this whole process, and I just wanted to give you an update on how it's going. Part of me wants to like summarize and tell you what I already said in the last video. That would be very tedious, so I won't do that. You can go watch it if you haven't already. Out of all of the inventory totes that I have, I did bring them over here to show you today. I don't think I brought them all the last time. I had said that I had 30 totes, and I have 29 in reality of these guys that are full of listed inventory, about 30 items in each one of those totes. I have about 6 of these boxes that also have 30 items each. These all just have smaller items, t-shirts, slips, things like that. And then I have 10 of these. These have smaller still items like neckties and panties and bras. And I have probably about 15 to 20 items in each of these boxes. So I have gotten through 23 of the gray boxes, the big ones. I've gotten through all 6 of the cardboard boxes and all 10 of the plastic totes. I also have inventory in some random places, a pantry in the kitchen where I have a lot of hard goods. I have shoes all in individual shoe boxes, and I will reconcile those. Like I have a suitcase full of purses, stuff like that. So I've made a little page for myself to keep track and make sure that I am accounting for all of the inventory, because I'll forget which ones I already did. And so it's been going pretty well so far. One of the reasons that I was doing this was because I suspected that there were pieces in my listed boxes of inventory that were no longer actually listed online, specifically on eBay. And so far I've only found 4 of those, so that's not too terrible. But I did pull those, of course, to rephotograph them so that I can recreate those listings. I also found 2 of those on Etsy, but the ones on Etsy are items that had sold and then been returned, and I never relisted them at that point, so I fixed that. I found only 4 listings so far where I did not note what inventory location the item was in, so I fixed that. I kind of expected there to be more of those. We're not done yet, but I did think that I would have more of those. I had one item that was just listed in the entirely wrong box. I said it was in box A, but in reality it was like box W, whatever, right? Just totally in the wrong spot. I've only pulled 15 items to delete and donate. So typically when I list something, I just kind of leave it for the long haul. I very rarely will decide to get rid of it altogether, because I find that generally things will sell. Sometimes I have to tweak them or move them to a different platform, but once I've done the work of photographing and writing the description, I pretty much like to leave them available for sale if possible. The 15 things that I've pulled are either things that are items that I would no longer pick up today. Some of them were just like a fast fashion brand that maybe I paid $1 for, so I thought it was worth it because it was cute, but it's not worth it. One was a thing that just had some damage that I just didn't feel like dealing with. That's mostly it. I did have, let's see, about 10 items or 10 inventory numbers that I cannot account for at the moment. So out of in box A, out of items A1 through A30, maybe I'm missing A15. I don't know where that inventory tag is. The reason that this might be happening is because I have pulled other things to rephotograph prior to starting this project, and for the most part those are all put away again. But sometimes I may have put some of them back and re-numbered them and not remembered. There are a couple of things that I've kept off to do repairs on. Some things that maybe when I listed them, I wasn't capable of doing those repairs, and now I am. So maybe I've held it off to the side, things like that. So I'll, once I'm done with this whole process, I will go back and find those tags / items, or I will recreate. Maybe at some point the tag just got lost. So, but I'll fix that. And I did have 2 instances where tag numbers were repeated. So I had 2 B19s and 2 3Cs. So I fixed those. As far as items that I pulled to rephotograph, I did also pull these pants. I don't know if you can see them. These. I had those listed for sale on Depop for a very long time. They were new old stock. I pulled the tag off now because I'm keeping them. But I had them up there for ages, and then I rephotographed them at one point, modeling them, have still had them up there for ages. No one's purchased them. I love them, so I'm keeping them. Yay. But all of these tags here are items that I have pulled to rephotograph. It's a lot. But it's good. Why would I rephotograph these things? Well, as I just stated, I don't tend to get rid of things just because I've had them a long time. As a result, there are some items that I've had for a very long time, and that were photographed maybe before I had studio lights. Maybe they were photographed before I was modeling items. Some of them were photographed when I first started modeling items, and that there's some very bad, very bad photos out there where I did not know what I was doing. So I've pulled all of these things to just do new photos that I'm happy with. Maybe it doesn't make a difference as far as the consumer, but I feel like I'll be more comfortable with it. And while it is a whole lot of items, one of the things that's going to be fun about it is that I have a lot of inventory to try to work with all at the same time. Usually when I'm doing my photos, I'm only photographing like 20 things at a time. Like, so when I do a modeling session, it's only 20, maybe 30 items if I really have a lot. And so I try to style things with other pieces that I have available for sale. So I try not to mix them with items that I'm not selling, because I've had instances in the past where I'll list, like, let's say a skirt, and I put it with a blouse that's my personal blouse, and then I'll just get a lot of questions about whether I'm selling the blouse. So I try and always make sure that everything in the photo is something that I have available for sale somewhere. I do have some stock pieces of my own, like jeans and a black skirt, that are basic that I'll use when modeling items. But if I don't have, within the 20 or 30 things that I am photographing in a session, I try and just pair things up with one another. And a lot of times it works out surprisingly well. Sometimes if I can't find something that seems like it's going to work, let's say I have a blouse that I need to photograph and I don't have an appropriate pair of bottoms to put it with, then I'll go and pull something from older inventory that I want to rephotograph. So that's been happening in a very piecemeal sort of way. With this number of items, I'm going to be able to put together some cute outfits beforehand. And so it's going to be fun in that respect, where I'll be able to pair a lot of things in different styles. I think that'll be fun. But it is going to basically be a lot of time kind of doing work that's not going to result in new listings for me. So that's a little bit frustrating for me. But I am excited about getting it all done. So that's pretty much where I am with this process. I do still have 6 more of the large totes to complete. And then a lot of the little stuff. I have all my shoes to double check. I have most of my hard goods that I have to verify. I even have a couple of like blankets and things that are out in a shed that I need to account for. Once I'm done with all of this, what I will do is on Etsy and eBay, I have put everything into like temporary store categories. So, you know, there's the categories that the platform creates for you, but then your shop can have different, you know, whatever categories you designate to kind of make items easier to search. So I have put all of my items into like a temporary store category. And then as I confirm its inventory location and make sure everything matches, I put it back into its appropriate category. Once I hit the end of all of this, I will then see what's still not categorized and then clean all of those little messes up one way or the other. And I guess that's it. I don't think that there should be many things that are not categorized at that point. So we'll see what I've got left. I do have some pieces of clothing that may just sort of randomly be hanging around. Like I said, if I was going to repair them and they could be like in a pile of other things that are not listed yet, we'll see. That should be it. I know that there was once where there was a sweater that was actively listed that I don't have anymore. I have no idea what I did with it. Never sold it. I don't know where it is. I don't know what happened to it. So it's kind of sitting in a limbo situation on Etsy right now. It's like inactive, but I'm pretty sure that's just gone forever. I don't know. I'll delete that listing eventually. But that's kind of where we are right now. So I will probably give you one final update when I've completed all of this. But if you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully this is a little bit helpful or interesting, but I appreciate you watching.